installing a hot start, electric start, TRX450ER Carburetor. We just bored this carb out, and we've got it all cleaned up. As you can see, we ran it through the ultrasonic cleaner, and we're going to have to bore this hole out here. This comes blank right now. Fortunately, we have another carburetor in stock that has hot start already in it. So we're going to take our measurements and set this up. We're going to go over what we're going to do this operation. Measurements off of each carburetor, and then we're going to write all that down. The hard part of this is going to be getting this perfectly level, because we want to bore this hole perfectly 90 degrees to what the bore is here, or perfect, so our hot start cable doesn't hang up inside here. We've also got to thread this too, so we've got to keep that in mind. We're going to ream this also, so we get a perfect hole. I believe it's an 8mm reamer, and then the threads are a 12x1 pitch millimeter. So we'll get to it. We got tooling coming in today, so I think it's 3 a.m. right now. So I got an early start this morning. So I gotta wait for UPS to open. I'm gonna give them a call, and we're gonna hold that. So in the meantime, we're gonna get this set up in the milling machine, and hopefully we'll get it all bored out and reamed. I got the reamers in stock. That's not a problem. It's just a tap. I had to order a tap for it. It's a special bottoming tap. I had a 12x1, but not a bottoming tap. So hang tight with us, and we'll get here to the milling machine. Alright, what I've decided to do, this is already bored. First we're going to take this choke out of here. I've already loosened it. We'll just pull that plunger out, set it aside. And now, it's not going to take much force to hold this in here, and this aluminum is going to cut pretty easy. This is already reamed about a 7.5mm, so I chucked up a reamer in here, and we're just going to center it off this reamer, and that's gonna keep us true this way and this way. So I can just stick this in here. It's a pretty tight fit up in there. So now I can move my milling machine table. I'm gonna move it that direction. Off the table. Move her stop. Alright, we're going to raise our table up. We're going to bring it down. Now, we want to bring our table until we hit on our fixed jaw back here. So we're going to watch that until our fixed jaw comes against in the back. Which is right there. Now we're going to lock down. Milling table. We're going to set both our locks. And now our reamer goes right in, and we're just using this reamer for alignment only. So we're going to go on to the next step now. Okay, looking at this carburetor that has hot start, it has a hole that's drilled right here. Try to get this in the camera view, and it goes down to this hot start plunger hole. But then after we're looking at it, they have drilled right here all the way through into this cavity. I'll try to get some better lighting here. See if we can see this in the, let's get my flashlight out here. Notice there's 2 holes in this carburetor, and the other carburetor, the electric start version, only has 1 hole. So we're going to have to measure this hole, drill the same angle down through, and then ream this hole also. We're going to have to get a measurement off of it. So I think our last operation we're going to do is going to be to drill and ream this hole out, because we want that to be our best hole whenever we're done, and that way our hot start plunger works good. So we're going to set up for a different operation, then we'll come back to this operation when we're ready to ream this and tap it. So we're going to get another setup here. Well, we had to come in here and we removed the bottom where the venturi is located, and I wouldn't recommend this unless you're pretty confident on working one of these, because there's a bunch of O-rings, some special O-rings. If you tear one of those, you can really mess this carburetor up. So what we're going to do, we're going to set this, we got this stem sticking out of here, but we can clear it in the milling vise, and we're going to set this down flush, and that way we make sure that we're perfectly level as far as this way with this carburetor. And what we did, we went in here to get this angle. We were able to see what 0 was, and we were able to figure out that we got about a 10-degree angle. So I'm going to have to knot the head. I'm going to loosen these 3 bolts here, and then turn this bolt here, and we're going to actually, it's called knotting the head. 10 degrees is what we're going to do. And we're going to be able to drill through for this hole, and then we're going to have to put a plug in there. So we're going to tap that. I've got some set screw plugs that we'll end up putting in there. I just actually got those in yesterday by chance. So let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to loosen these up, and we're going to knot this head 10 degrees. And these you just want to just loosen a little bit. You don't want them all the way loose. Now we're going to start turning this bolt, and it's going to start knotting the head on this milling machine. And our reading is right here. We're going to go to 10 degrees. Which is right about there. Alright, we're going to lock this back down. Snug. Now we need to move our milling machine so we're lined up. It's perfectly lined up with this hole that needs drilled on the inside. So we're going to line that up. Going to unlock our cable. And most likely we're going to put a pointer in here. Actually, our drill bit probably be alright. Let's go ahead and put our and my air is off right now. We actually blew an airline yesterday, so we're putting, don't ever put plastic in when you build a new shop, because it won't last. Use metal for your airline, I can tell you that. Had 2 shops that's happened to. Of course, we didn't know it on the second shop after they hadn't blown in the first shop yet. Put that in the new shop. check and see what size drill bit we need in here, and I'll be right back. Alright, we've gone in here, and there's a little nipple in here. You can see that indentation where that hole needs to be drilled, and so we've chucked this drill bit in, 7/64. We're going to ream it to a 3.5 millimeter, and we've lined this hole up here. Now we're going to raise this. We're going to go out with a drill bit, and we're just going to eyeball this. We're going to look at this other carburetor, and it's in the center of this hole is where it's at, in the center of this flat spot. So we're going to, that right there is really good and centered. We're going to compare it here, and it looks like the exact same. I don't know if you can see that or not. You can see that little brass piece in there. That's how they make all these passageways in a carburetor if you look at them. That's why you see little plungers and stuff, because they've actually drilled all the way across. So we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to put a plug in here, and we don't want to use this drill bit because it might walk on us, so we're going to put our centering drill bit in. Now that we've just found center, let me grab it, and here's what it looks like. And I may have to go to, nah, I think that one there will work just fine. I thought I might have to go to a smaller one, so we're going to open this up. And actually, I have a longer one. We're going to use it. Might have to move our milling table down, it looks like. So, there we go. Alright, let's reposition. Let me go grab my safety glasses and I'll be right back. Well, this is a 4 by 0.7, what this ended up being, and then we have a tap, and we're going to use an 1/8 inch drill bit is what we're going to use in order to run down in this and get it to size. So. Okay, so we on to the next thing. We've got this reamer in this carburetor that has a hot start. What we ended up doing was finding what the angle was, which we did it this way, in reference to this surface here. We had this 1, 2, 3 block on here, and we were able to see what the angle was, and it come out to 39 degrees. So we set our table up at 39 degrees. But to get 39 degrees, you can see how far tilted this head is back. We had to raise our table all the way up. You can see how it's about chest high. I don't think I've ever had this table up this high. And we also had to loosen these bolts up here, and then move this lever that's back here, and that retracts and extends the head of our mill. So we retracted it back as far as I could without hitting the wall right now. So, and then we had to raise it all the way up. We can't use our chuck because we don't have enough room here. I would have had to take my milling vise off and move it to the next slot forward, but this is going to work this way. So let's go ahead. If I can touch anything here, I have to come around here and turn it on. We're going to go to the high side. We're going to spot drill it. I'll be back here on the back so I can watch it. Alright, here we go. this is our passageway. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but this is where we get the air to lean your fuel system out, and that's the whole reason for the hot start. When you pull the plunger, it sucks air through this cavity up here and puts it into your motor. So let's go ahead and cut this. We're just drilling until we're through into the cavity where a hot start plunger goes. I've switched to a bigger drill bit, and we're going to drill it out. It's 11/64 drill bits, what it is. I'm going to put a little WD-40 on it. Chucked in. It's a 5mm reamer. We're going to give it some good lube. We're going to run it in low gear, just like we usually do with a reamer. I didn't realize my camera was recording when I didn't think it was, and not recording when I thought it was. So I'm still trying to figure this GoPro out. Got the GoPro app on my phone. You can see here I missed the drilling. I believe in especially the reaming of this hole that goes through to let your air into your engine. But you can see the plug that we installed, and we Loctited that plug in there, and you can see it does not protrude into the hole. Let me get a light on it so you can see better. And it's not protruding. So our next step is we're going to set back up like we did before. Here's our milling machine. We've done some other operations since, and got our airline fixed now. And we've got our head tram back in, so it's perfectly level this way and this way too. So we're going to set back up in here with our reamer, just like we did before, and then we're going to drill the hole for the plunger to go into and ream it, and then we're going to tap it. We got our tap in too. Let me grab that tap and I'll show you what it looks like. Here's the tap. It's a 12x1, and it's a super sharp tap, but you can see it's a bottoming tap also, so we can go all the way to the bottom of the threads, so we can get that plunger threaded in. We've reset up just like we did before. We've squared up. We've got a reamer in the bore, and that way make sure we're perfectly 90 degrees to the milling machine. So we're going to pull this reamer out of here, and replace it with a drill bit. lead 5/16 drill bit. Yes, it is, which is just a hair, like 25 thousandths less than this 8mm reamer that we're going to ream this hole to. So we're going to go ahead and drill it out first. I moved my GoPro camera to a cart, and that way we don't have as much vibration coming through the camera too. I'm going to stay out of the view. Switch this to high gear. Alright, now we're going to chuck up our reamer. And my air's back off because I found a leak and I don't want to listen to it while I'm doing this. So that's the next project to do after I'm done doing this. Make sure we got the 8mm reamer. Put it in the back gear, slow it down. We're going to run this down to the bottom of the hole. I'm going to get on the other side and get a better shot. Go. Okay, we've got our tap set up here in the mill, and I've moved the camera angle, a little better angle. The choke is the exact same threads, so we're going to check our ID and see if we need to drill this out. So we're going to take a measurement on the choke and 0.436, and we're going to check this one, and we're 424. So I'm going to call that good. I don't think we need to drill this out any. I'd like not to. We got a super sharp tap, brand new tap, good quality tap, American made. So we shouldn't have a problem. I'm going to try to just hand feed this in. I've got my mill in neutral. And let's see if we can get a good start on this. And all I'm trying to do is get a good straight start. I'm going to have to skew the camera angle though a little bit. See if I can get you in here better. I really don't want to power feed this in because we don't have very far to go. So let's try that. I think we're good and straight. We're started, and we're gonna take this. I don't know how we're gonna do this yet actually. I might have to back it out and then restart. That's what I'll have to do in order to get my bit loose. It looks like we're started pretty good on our threads. So let's try to take this out of our milling machine. So I've hand threaded this tap back in. We got a good start, good and straight. And what I like to use is Snap-on makes these, they're called a tap socket. I got a whole set of these. And one end has the square head for the tap, and the other end is a 3/8 drive for a ratchet. We can get a good feel on this, and it's a lot easier to get your starts going too. You have to start something without it being in the milling machine. So now I'm just going to thread this by hand. Got it lubed up, it's going great. Nice sharp tap. I'm going to relieve it, break that chip in there. Feels like we're at the bottom. Verify. Yep. There aren't many threads on these. I highly recommend Tokyo Mods makes a billet aluminum nut that goes in here. I keep those in stock for guys that come in and have theirs stripped out. I'm going to put those in. Bring you in here to a better view, and you can see our new cut threads in there, and they look really good. So I believe we're done on this operation. We're going to clean this up, and we're going to put a hot start cable in here. And actually I could probably thread my choke in and see how good the operation is on the choke, but we're gonna, I don't know, we'll see here. So well, we threaded in the cable, and it's not sticking at all. We're pulling it in and out, and I'm snapping it back, so we're good to go. You can hear it snapping to the end of the travel. You ought to be able to hear that on camera, I hope. So this job's done. It's sending out the door. I've got to put it back, whole carburetor back together, and ultrasonic clean it, and we'll ship it out.